If you're an ambitious entrepreneur who knows exactly what to do to grow your business, but execution just isn't happening consistently, one day you're happy with your output, your focus, getting a lot done. The next day you're avoiding the hard tasks and just lost in distractions. This video is for you. The truth is, you're not lazy, you're not lacking discipline, and you don't need more motivation. Your brain is just working against you right now. And in this video, I'll share with you the 2 hidden reasons why you can't stay consistent, and I'll share with you a 3-step system to rewire your brain for consistent, focused execution so high output days become your new normal and you're able to get the results you know you're capable of in your business. Inconsistency is something that crippled me for years. These days, I coach entrepreneurs in peak performance, and I've seen that inconsistency is the biggest bottleneck for most founders. See, most entrepreneurs try working harder to solve their inconsistency problem. They think it's a discipline issue. They just have to suck it up and exert more effort. Mainly because that's mostly what you see on social media these days. It's not true, and I'll tell you exactly why. There's 2 science-based reasons why entrepreneurs struggle to stay consistent. And the very first one, I'll break both of these down, but the first one is mental conflict, and the second one is poorly designed systems. So let's take a look at the first one, mental conflict. When you avoid the hard work that grows your business, it's not because you're lazy. It's because your subconscious sees it as painful, threatening, or uncertain. You're essentially running into an invisible wall of limiting beliefs, doubts, and fears that are all designed to keep you in your comfort zone. And this is why you'll know exactly what you need to do, exactly how to get it done, and still just not do it. And every time you procrastinate, your brain reinforces those avoidance circuits and the pattern deepens. And this is because of neuroplasticity, which is your brain's ability to change and rewire itself based on its experiences. And if you try to just push through this, all that happens is that you drain willpower and you increase cognitive fatigue. So that, when stress hits you or you get a bad night of sleep, your discipline crumbles and you just fall off again. And so in order to break this cycle, you have to rewire how your brain responds to challenge and how it responds to the work itself. And so that your subconscious starts to associate the hard work with progress and who you want to become. That's how you become ruthlessly consistent, by aligning your identity and your automatic responses with the work required to win. And so that's reason number 1, is mental conflict. Now let's get into reason number 2, which is poorly designed systems. See, most entrepreneurs are trying to wing it every day. They're constantly guessing what the next steps are, and they're repeating the same decisions over and over and over again, like what to eat, what time to start working, what to work on, what to wear in the morning, how to get a certain task done that they do all the time, etc. And every time you have to make a decision, your brain burns energy and you create friction, where essentially you move slower because you're having to consciously think about everything that you're doing and every move that you need to make because it wasn't decided beforehand. And all this friction actually just creates space for doubt, fear, and distraction to sneak in and just completely veer you off track. But when your days are structured and designed with intention, where you know exactly what you need to do, you know when you need to do it, and you know exactly why it's important, then your brain doesn't have to waste energy or time thinking about trivial decisions. You conserve your energy, you reduce decision fatigue, and you're able to show up with maximum cognitive clarity to do the work that actually grows your business, and so that you're able to move the needle way more effortlessly on a daily basis. It's about eliminating the friction that throws you off track. It's about building systems, routines, and rituals that fit you and fit your goals. It's not about someone else's routine or what other people are doing. It's about fixing your bottlenecks and making sure that you're showing up at your best every single day and moving the needle as far as possible. When you start systemizing and ritualizing every corner of yourself, your life, and your business, what ends up happening is that high output days just start to become normal and natural, and those days start compounding into growth. And so that's reason number 2 that you can't stay consistent: poorly designed systems. And if you don't rewire how you operate, you're just going to keep having spikes of progress followed by crashes. And every crash takes a hit on your confidence, and every missed day slows down your momentum. And without consistent execution on the right things, you're not able to actually compound the momentum and the wins required to get the results that you actually want. So it's not just costing you time, it's costing you growth, it's costing you income, and it's costing you the life that you've been working so hard to build. If at any point in this video you realize this is exactly what you've been struggling with, there's a link below this video to book a call and work directly with me to fix it. So if you want to rewire your brain for elite daily execution where you're locked in, you're focused all day, and you're crushing those hard tasks with ease, performing at your absolute best on a daily basis, here's a 3-step system to solve for those 2 hidden reasons that I shared with you: mental conflict and poorly designed systems. And so the very first part of the system is awareness, because you can't fix what you don't understand. You need to get clear on your patterns. What throws you off specifically? When does it happen? Is it stress? Is it after a bad night of sleep? Is it when you're facing uncertainty? Is it when there's unexpected problems that show up? Is it when you start to feel overwhelmed about what task to focus on? It could be a number of things, but you got to get clear on what it is for you exactly. Because every time you fall off, every time you lose your consistency, every time you don't do what you know you needed to do and you break your momentum, that's feedback, and you have to use that in order to uncover what really happened there so that you can fix that bottleneck. Without this awareness, you just can't do that. You just won't know what your real bottlenecks are. And this is why so many entrepreneurs are trying all kinds of productivity hacks and biohacking tricks that just don't work for them. They still face the exact same, focus issues, consistency issues, just not getting enough done every day and all this sort of stuff, because they're not actually solving the root problem. They're just addressing symptoms. So the very first step of the system is awareness. Get clear on your patterns and what triggers it. And now the second part of the system is to rewire the pattern. Once you know your biggest consistency breaker, right, that biggest bottleneck, that pattern that typically shows up for you, right, because humans are creature of habit. And so if you're falling off in a certain way, you're probably falling off in that exact same way. It might look a little bit different, but the pattern's going to be very, very similar. Once you got clear on what that is for you, it's time to dissect it and reprogram it. So there's 2 questions that you can ask yourself here when you're analyzing this. Your pattern is, what thoughts were driving your behavior in that moment, right? When you veered off track, when you should have been doing A, but you did B, what thoughts were going through your mind? Once you get clear on that, right, you get clear on the thought process you were operating on, you want to ask yourself, what new identity and response do you want to build instead, right? What identity and response aligns with your goals, aligns with your vision, aligns with the results that you want and who you want to become. This allows you to reframe the situation and operate with a different perspective. And when you control your perspective, you can control your behavior, because how you think about things determines how you act. And now that you got clear on that, now you can build a system to prevent that spiral in the future. Because like Benjamin Franklin said, an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure. You want to get clear on what that system is. What's that system that you need to build to ensure that you don't fall into that pattern ever again? The system you build won't be perfect, right? You'll have to tweak and optimize and whatever. But the point is, you want to be thinking in that way, right? What system do you need to build to obliterate that? What series of actions or steps or whatever are required to obliterate that pattern and just make sure it never happens again? This might be planning your day the night before. It might be optimizing your pre-bed routine for higher quality sleep. It might be rewiring your mind to see challenges as opportunities. And so the whole goal of this is fewer breakdowns, more automatic execution on what matters, and just being able to sustain your peak performance no matter what's going on around you. And so instead of repeatedly falling into the same patterns that sabotage your progress, you're going to be able to become aware of the situation that you're in, and you'll be able to make the right decision that allows you to stay focused and compounding your momentum. That's really what this is all about. It's about identifying, okay, what are my negative patterns? What was going on there? Why did they happen? And now what do I need to do? What system do I need to design to make sure that doesn't happen again? And now the third part of the system is absolutely essential, because without feedback, you won't be able to improve. And that's why we have to ritualize feedback loops. You're going to be able to know where things are going wrong, where things are going right, so you can do more of the good, less of the bad. And so here's a very simple protocol that you can implement to start ritualizing these feedback loops. And so you want to end your days with 3 questions. So what did I do well today? What didn't go well today? And what will I improve for tomorrow? So this is super simple, but it's what allows you to stay clear on what's working, systemize that, what's not working and what you need to be improving, right? What are the breakdowns and what are the adjustments to the systems so that those problems don't show up anymore. Week after week, your productivity baseline is going to be increasing. You'll be able to raise your standards week after week, performing at a higher and higher level until high output days just become who you are. And this is really how you can start rewiring your brain to operate at your peak every single day, getting the work done and creating real consistency, not only in your behavior, but you're going to be able to start seeing it in your results as well. And this is really the key that a lot of entrepreneurs don't understand. I didn't understand it for a long time, but if you don't have this, if you don't have, your brain's not wired to do the things you need to do, you don't have clear, effective systems to make your best behavior effortless and automatic, then it really doesn't matter how skilled you are. You're always going to struggle to stay consistent, struggle to focus, and struggle to do the work that actually yields the results, because that's what produces outcomes. It's not strategy, it's not theory, it's not knowledge, and it's not tactics. What produces outcomes is doing the work, taking the actions, and the faster you take the actions, the faster you get the results. Now, if you're tired of inconsistency sabotaging your growth, and you want my help to rewire your brain for consistent, high output execution so you can triple your daily productivity and scale to your next level without any burnout, 12-hour days, or falling back into old patterns, then book a call with me. First link in the description. We'll have a short chat to see if you're a fit for my Elite Operator program, and if you are, we'll get you dialed in fast. See you on the call.